Good morning.
Good morning, Sophie. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. Nice to talk to you again.
Absolutely. Now, £12 million. Some people saying this is a victory. Ed Vaizey said he was delighted. Ian Hudspeth not happy with the amount being enough. Where are you sitting?
Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere near enough for what is really, Sophie, one of the most frustrating roads in the country. And frustrations have contributed to speeding offences and dangerous driving. So it's just not enough. There are at least two big things that need to be done immediately, but with long-term strategic goals in view. One is the width of the road, especially anywhere near Oxford. It beggars belief that we should have just 2 lanes each way on such an important road. I think some long sections of the road should carry at least 3 lanes of traffic in both directions. Of course, the original planners didn't have anything like the volume of traffic we see today, but that doesn't excuse us or our present-day planners for not making the big strategic decisions.
Now, when we spoke to Highways England, they said any sort of major spending like that, the tens of millions of pounds, would be something for the next government to discuss. I mean, is there a risk that with governments changing over, this is something that just gets bumped along the line?
Yeah, I mean, anybody can say, kick the can down the road every 5-year cycle, and there you go. I mean, that's exactly what we have today. We have political management of short-term issues, but not political leadership, which has long-term strategic goals and then builds tactics, if you like, to take us toward those goals. What we have at the moment is just stopgap measures. £12 million is not a lot when you consider the budget for Highways England.
And does this come down to, we often see when they kind of wait to put fixtures in, that it's people dying on the roads and that's what does it. But I mean, there have been plenty of very serious and fatal accidents already on that road, haven't there?
Yes, they have, and I think there are. We are blessed because we don't have as many accidents as we could have on the A34. Now, consider, for example, issues of driver behaviour because of frustration. I mean, I feel for lorry drivers, for example. It's a terrible road for lorry drivers. They have such limited options, but there needs to be some sort of enforcement on things like overtaking by lorries. Some drivers seem unable to judge when it's appropriate and safe to overtake. That's the same with cars, of course, but with lorries it can be more dangerous. They do it on hills, near bends, and you sometimes, I stress, find a lorry driver pulling out without being sure their vehicle has the power to overtake. So those are issues to do with driver behaviour, but they're also impacted by the sheer architecture of the road itself.
But then also because there aren't as many accidents on there as others, and we do get given those statistics time and time again when we talk about improvements on the road, perhaps that is on the downside means that there is less urgency to make the changes.
Yes, well, then it comes back again to management versus leadership. I mean, I think anybody that drives even relatively consistently on the A34, and especially anywhere near Oxford, knows what a problem it is, even in times of mild traffic flow, Sophie. So I think it's very short-sighted to say, if a politician should say, well, look, we don't have that many accidents. The only reason we don't have more accidents, I think, is that people just slow right down. That, of course, builds up the traffic, which, of course, causes more frustration. And it may be that drivers take out their frustration on roads they go on to after the A34.